Hello, it's Martin, and in this video I'm giving away 16 top dirt bike cornering tips that allow you to be faster and much more confident, consistent, and riding will be safer. Brake properly, start adding gas early. Really important that you go into the corner and you are braking down early, that you can prepare your body position, you can take the correct positions, you can gear down, and you are able to take the corner. You can sit down and you can start deliver the throttle. So the mistake I see riders are doing, that they miss out the place where they need to start braking. If you miss the braking point, you will be late with everything else as well, and your cornering technique will be bad. So it's important to start braking early and brake down properly, and then you sit down and you start delivering the throttle smoothly already from the start of the corner, and you build up the speed as you go. So remember, proper braking early, that you can prepare yourself to take the corner, and then early throttle out of the corner. My second tip for you is look ahead and process. It is really important that when you are approaching to the corner, you're looking ahead. You are taking decisions which line you want to take, you're intentional of the line, and you can already process things in your head. If you're only looking ahead of you, you cannot take proper decisions because you don't have time to process the track, the ruts, and the lines. So make sure that when you approach the corner, you look ahead and you already process what's upcoming, and you take decisions beforehand. The third tip is no free rolls. You either braking or you either on the throttle. You don't want to have this free roll part where you don't do either of these things. You're just free rolling. This is the part where riders are losing a lot of time. So imagine if in every corner you do this free roll and you lose few points of a second, and combined to the one lap it will give you 1 second, for example. And if you have the whole ride, imagine how many seconds this one ride will be combined. So you want to avoid these free rolls. If you are braking, then you're braking, and when you have finished braking, you sit down and you start to go on the throttle soon. You don't want to have this free roll where it's just hanging around. So you either are starting to brake later in order to avoid the free roll, or you start to throttle sooner. So it is really common mistake of riders that they brake down and the corner is just too far, so they just free roll until they are in the part where they need to start throttling. So practice this, and then if it's needed, brake later in order you still have enough time to prepare for the corner, and right after you have finished braking, go into the throttle and get out of the corner. The fourth tip is the correct body position in the corner. We have talked about this a lot, and in my riding course I'm talking about this a lot. And the correct body position is important in the corner because it helps you to lean properly, it helps you to stay on the attack position, and you can do all the actions needed, use clutch, use throttle in proper way. And if you maintain the correct body position in the corner, this means that you will avoid, most probably you avoid any kind of mistakes, any accidents in the corner, or falling down and so on. So correct body position is important. Sit in front, have your elbows up in the attack position, leg is out, and this is the correct body position. Fifth tip is the transition of standing up to sitting down. So as I said before, that you either are braking or you're on the throttle. If you're braking, you're standing up, as I do right now. As I approach the corner, I'm braking, and the transition part where I stopped braking is the part where I need to start being on the throttle. And if I'm going on the throttle, I need to sit down. So the transition is when I stop braking, I sit down in front and my leg goes out and I'm on the throttle already. So the transition part is important. You're on the brake, you sit down and you're in the throttle. You're standing up, you're braking, you're approaching the corner, you're sitting down and you're on the throttle. This transition part is important, that you do it properly, you're doing it fast, and you don't lose any time. The sixth step is have your elbows up. You want to have your elbows up because this helps for your attack position, and it helps to lean in the corner, lean your dirt bike. So if your elbows are down, it's really hard to lean first of all, and it's really hard to steer your bike as well. Of course you don't need to steer it, you need to lean, but if your elbows are down, we have talked about it before, you don't have the strength in your hand, it's much harder to control your bike. So make sure that your elbows are up, you're in the attack position, and you can lean properly. The seventh step of the cornering is that you need to sit in front. You don't need to sit on the stupidly in front, but you need to find this pocket of the seat, sit in front, because this puts more weight on the front tire in the front end. You need to have more weight on the front end in the corner because your front tire is doing the steering, and your front tire needs to stay into the rut and needs to kind of carry you out of the corner. So that's why you need to have the weight distributed in the front, and you need to sit in front. Have your elbows up as well, like this, you're sitting in front. This is the corner position you're in. The eighth step is to put your leg out. There is also different nuances of the putting leg out, and one thing which is really important, when you put your leg out, it really grabs the plastic here. Your leg can't be somewhere in here or somewhere in here. Your leg has to be really firmly grabbing the plastic, because this helps you to control the bike, to hold the bike, and like this knee grabbing this side of the bike, this knee grabbing this side of the bike, and I'm kind of control of the bike and my leg is not loose somewhere there, which is super important. And the second thing is, don't never lock your knee out. Don't put your leg that straight that your leg is locked here. Have some natural curve in the leg, because if you were to grab some rock or something that really kind of hits your ankle, if your knee is locked, you can have hurt, you can have some damage, you can do some damage to your knee. But if you have some curve in it, you still can move, and if you hit something, your leg can move properly. So these two things are important here. The ninth step of a perfect corner is that you want to use slightly your front brake. Why? First of all, if you use a little bit front brake, it again puts more pressure on the front tire, more weight is going on the front end, and if you have a front brake, then this helps you to keep your front tire in the rut. Second thing why it's important is to have a little bit front brake, is that by this you can control your speed with the throttle and brake. It's a technique that I learned in my online course a lot about. But really briefly, you want to have your brake, because by this you can regulate your speed throughout the corner. And with the gas, with the front brake, you can regulate it really well, and it's important to do that. So the 10th tip is look through the corner, look ahead, or also if you're in the corner. So what riders are doing, the mistake is that they're going through the corner, but they're looking the rut in ahead of them. You don't need to look the rut anymore. You need to look ahead, what's out of the corner, what happens after the corner. If there is a jump, which line should I take? So always you need to look ahead to collect information, to allow your brain to process the information, and you need to look ahead, look through, because your bike is going where your eyesight is. Where your eyesight is, there your focus goes there. So that's where your bike is going. If you're only looking your front tire, you're looking on front of you, then that's where you're going, and that's where you lose your focus, and that's why you can crash. So really be focused, look through the corner, look ahead, know where you're going. The 11th tip is smooth throttle, smooth power delivery. You want to be smooth with your throttle in the corner, because in corner obviously your bike is turning, and if you do some react with your throttle, then your bike reacts also really fast. And if you're leaning as well, then the part which is touching the corner, the tire part which is touching the ground, is so small that when you do some kind of react moves, then it really reacts your rear tire, and you can slide off your rear back with it. So smooth throttle delivery is really important in the corner, to have a smooth throttle build up as you go and as you start. So as I said, in the beginning of corner, you already start to hit on the throttle a little bit, and you build up the speed as you go. Really good is to use also your front brake, as I said before. This helps you to control your speed in the corner. So smooth power delivery through the corner is a key thing. The 12th step of perfect corner is lean through the corner. You need to lean through the corner, because if you lose your lean, or if you in the middle of corner you don't lean anymore, then it's really easy to jump out of the rut or get too wide in the corner. You need to lean through the corner, and as you exit the corner, that's where you exit the lean as well. You can't exit the lean in the middle of corner, so focus on your lean. Focus on your lean when you do the corner. If you have the correct body position, you have leg out, and you have a smooth power delivery, then the leaning part is easy. If you don't have smooth throttle delivery, then it's hard to lean as well. So it's important that you lean through the corner. This allows you to draw the perfect corner line till the end of the corner. The 13th tip is that choose your line and commit to that line. It's really important as you're approaching the corner. As we said, you need to look ahead, you need to collect information, and you need to choose the line you are taking. If you don't choose the line and you go into corner unprepared, you can really easily go off the corner, go off the line, and have the corner much wider than you wanted to have it. And if you have it wider, you will lose a lot of time again. But if you commit to the line, commit to the corner, then you can easily prepare yourself already to take the exact line. You know where to start braking, you know where to sit down, you know where to put your leg out, and you know where to start leaning. But if you don't commit to that, it's really hard to do these things. So that's why you need to look ahead, commit to the concrete line and take the line. Tip 14 is weight on the outside foot peg as well. It is something that is talked a lot, and it's true that you need, when you're leaning, for example, this side, you have your leg out, this leg is grabbing the bike with this knee, but you need to add weight on this leg as well, because this helps. First, this helps to balance you on the bike, and second, this helps again to distribute the weight to the ground, and it helps to be much more stable. So make sure that you add weight on the outside foot peg as well, because this is important for your power, for your balance ratio on the bike. 15th step is choose the right gear before the corner. This is something that's not talked enough about, and I can't stress how important it is to have the right gear before the corner. Why? Because it's impossible to start changing gear in the corner, or if it's not possible, you will lose a lot of time when doing it. So obviously, if you lean on if you have left corner, your leg is out, how can you change your gear? You need to put your leg back on the foot peg in the middle of corner. You will lose your balance, you will lose everything, you will lose your lean. This means you need to be on the correct gear already before the corner. If you are braking down in the corner, before the corner, already here you're braking down and you're gearing down as well as you go into the corner. You gear down the gear to the correct gear, you sit down and you put your leg out. Here you need to be on the correct gear already in order to develop the smooth throttle out of the corner. This is not the place to start changing gear anymore. And the last and the 16th tip I want to give you away is use your clutch wisely. There are two types of riders. Riders who don't use clutch at all in the corners, and riders who use clutch too much in the corner. When you do not use clutch in the corner, the clutch helps you with your power delivery in the corners. Some corners, for example, wide sandy corners, are corners where it's required to go on a higher gear, but in the beginning of corner, in order to hold the RPMs high, you need to help with the clutch in order to get the RPM high and to engage with the clutch and have the strong power delivery in the sandy corner, and then you can be on the same gear and throttle out of the corner with the full power. But if you start to overuse the clutch, then you start to lose this perfect corner line, and when you using too much clutch, you can lose the consistent power delivery out of the corner, and this jeopardizes your correct balance, your correct lean and your correct body positions. So if you start to clutch too much in the corner, this will get you off the balance and off the correct power delivery. So don't overuse it, and in some type of corners you need to use clutch in order to be fast and in order to have enough power. So use your clutch wisely is definitely something you need to learn, and if you want to learn to ride motocross properly, I invite you to my online course, which is the #1 motocross course out there today. I'm really happy to say that I just launched my 7-step video course, 7 Techniques for Winners. In this 7-step video series, you will learn how to ride properly, all the right riding techniques, body postures and so on. And also I've added a lot of free bonus materials on top of you. And as I'm so confident of my techniques and of the value of this course, I'm giving it away with an amazing bonus offer at the moment. So I've added a link to the YouTube description. So click the link, browse around, learn about it, and I really hope to see you learning motocross with me already in my course. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my videos as well, and see you on the next course.